Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of EcoVenture GSO. I'm Mikey Romano, and today we're going to talk about the EcoBus. I know you've seen parts and bits and pieces of it before because we kind of base it out of it on most of our shows, but we've actually never done an episode just on the bus. So today, lucky you, we're going to do just that. So to begin with, the EcoBus is kind of an environmental education initiative by Greensboro's Parks and Recreation Department. It used to be a bookmobile many moons ago, and we've kind of converted it a little bit into a mobile classroom. There's live animals, sometimes plants on it. We drive around, we go to schools, city events, all kinds of great places, and we basically teach people about environmental education, any kind of subject they want to learn about, we're there to teach them. So what we're going to do, we're going to talk a little bit about the history of the bus, talk about how it, what it used to be, what it is now, and then we'll go inside and meet some of the residents. Sound good? Great. So before we go inside, a little bit of history about the bus. The bus did not always look this good. We've been working on this bus for a couple of years now. When we first got it, it was bright blue and had a train sticker on the side of it because it used to be the Reading Railroad. Now that it's the EcoBus, we needed something a little bit different. Fortunately, we made contact with a freelance artist named Thomas Gilbert up in New York. Great guy. And because of the wonderful nature of the bus and the fact that we're trying to build an educational system for the kids and the people in Greensboro, he did it pro bono. So he designed this whole wrap with native animals from North Carolina, stuff you might see on the bus, stuff you might see in the woods, and he basically designed this wrap specifically for us, just because he's a great guy. So he basically sent us the wrap, and we were able to take it to a company and get it kind of turned into this beautiful wrap for the bus. And each side is a little different, depicting different scenes of North Carolina wildlife and the environment. So I know the EcoBus is new to a lot of you, but if you had seen it before, you wouldn't recognize it now. The inside used to be basically just shelves that hold books for people to borrow and read and that kind of thing. But that doesn't really work when you're doing an environmental education moving classroom. So we had one of our lake staff, Neil Thompson, who is a wonderful carpenter, can build pretty much anything. He built pretty much everything on the inside of the bus. Sometimes I tell people that me and him built it, but really I was just holding the hammer or occasionally a screwdriver. Neil has built all the tank stands, enclosures, that kind of stuff on the bus. When we go in, you're going to see how different it might have been from when it was its prior incarnation. So come on in, let's go see how it is.
Michael Romano.
Crystal Jones, how you doing?
Doing great.
Good to see you.
Yeah, you're a little late.
That's what I do.
Come on in.
Thanks. So when you get on the EcoBus, you're going to notice a lot of different stuff. There's all kinds of different displays out there. There's taxidermy animals, there's books, there's all kinds of fun stuff for every age group. We love doing all kinds of different programs, and depending on where we're going, we kind of change the display up a little bit to kind of go right with, what that group is looking for. Some of the most looked for and asked about things on the bus are the live animals. We have a lot of different animals from a lot of different areas, and we use them for education work. Crystal, would you like to introduce us to somebody?
I would love to.
Who's your favorite on the bus right now?
Chuck, the Eastern king snake, is my favorite.
That's awesome.
Would you like to meet him?
I would love to meet him. Wait, he lives at my house. No.
So Chuck is my favorite snake on the bus because actually he likes to try to get out of his enclosure. That is really why I like him.
He just wants to come visit you.
He does like to come visit me. Also, I think it's pretty cool. He's an Eastern king snake, and we saw one of these snakes at our camping episode, same species.
Oh, you look familiar, yeah.
Yeah. So the really cool thing about king snakes is that they like to eat other snakes, including venomous snakes. So I would love to see a king snake in my backyard, and these guys are native, so I've never seen one in my backyard, but it would be really nice if I did. I knew we'd keep the copperheads away.
It's pretty cool.
It
so
is
now,
super cool.
You said he's native. You want to remind everybody what that means?
Yes, that means he lives here.
Okay, so on the bus, we have both native and exotic animals. We have stuff that is local and you'd find out in the woods here or in the area. And the exotic stuff will come from far away. South America, Africa, Australia, we have all different kinds of animals. Pretty cool, right?
Pretty cool.
He's a very nice snake. And
He
he's
is very
really
nice.
friendly and very nice, right?
He is very friendly.
Wouldn't hurt anybody unless you're a venomous snake or a small rodent, right?
Right.
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 Fortunately, we're neither. So when we're talking about the different animals on the bus, some of my favorite ones to use for programming because they're really cool, they're absolutely harmless, and they're kind of funky gross, are the giant Madagascan hissing cockroaches. Now, everybody's got roaches everywhere, but these are giant Madagascans, which means they come from the island nation of Madagascar off the coast of Africa. So these guys are exotic, but they're still a type of roach, a very large roach. And they're really cool, they make me feel like I'm home in the Bronx. So we're gonna take some of these guys out. They're absolutely harmless. They are neat. Now they're called hissing cockroaches. You know why, Crystal?
Yes, I do.
Why are they called hissing cockroaches?
Because they hiss.
Because they hiss.
Specifically when they're feeling a little scared.
Exactly. So let's see if any of these guys hiss. I'm gonna be gentle. Hear them hissing?
I do hear them hissing.
So these guys are really cool. They're absolutely harmless. They are what's called detritivores. They basically eat rotting plant material and that kind of stuff, so they couldn't bite me if they tried. Their mouth parts aren't made up for it. They don't sting or anything like that. They basically just eat their plants and work on, breaking out rotting logs and plants in the jungles of Madagascar. They're very neat. They're very cool. Want to pet them?
Yes.
But they're really fun to bring into classrooms because the kids always love them and the teachers always run away. So they are really, really fun. Everybody needs some giant cockroaches in their life, right?
Everybody.
Right?
So, we're going to get out the blue-tongued skink, Link, and talk about him just a little bit.
Don't we have blue-tongued skinks around here?
Oh, sure. Did you pick him up this morning? Out of your
put 'em-
backyard?
No, I did not. Oh, those are blue-tail skinks, right? Little 5-line ones?
Right, so he's not native. He is an exotic animal,
Okay.
and so you wouldn't find him in your backyard, I hope.
Too bad.
He lives in Australia.
I wish he was in my backyard then. That
Well-
one there.
Well, that's another episode.
No. We gotta go on site somewhere.
Hopefully, he'll stick his tongue out again. Blue-tongued skinks are really super, super cool. They have really, really blue tongues. There he goes. I love when he does that. And when they are approached by a predator, they don't run away like most animals. They stick their tongue out and open it up. And it's bright blue, and it's very scary for other animals. And it's as big as his head. So
Cool.
that keeps him safe.
So now he's got all his little flaky skin things going on. What's going on with that?
Sure, so he's shedding.
Oh, okay. So like snakes shed all at once, but lizards shed in pieces.
Yes, they do. And he's got little claws, and they're a little scratchy, and he's scratching me a little bit.
Okay.
So
He's pretty cool. Now he's an omnivore, so he eats.
he eats everything.
Okay, so he eats
He
plants
eats
and animals.
fruits, he eats crickets, he eats anything he can find like that.
Very cool. That's awesome. What a cool lizard.
Yes, he is.
Totally native tortoise, right?
Oh yeah. Also in my backyard this morning. No, he's not a native tortoise.
No?
Nope. He's a sulcata tortoise. He lives in Africa.
Right, exactly. So this is Thor, okay? Thor is very cool. He's a very neat tortoise. He's still kind of a baby. He's still growing. He's about a little over 40 pounds right now and maybe 6 to 8 years old. But when he's done growing, he's going to be about over 150 pounds. He's the third largest tortoise species on the planet. Thor and some of the other animals on the bus were actually people's pets that they got as exotics, then realized that they get too big and they're a lot of trouble and they don't really have the right home for them. So we have adopted him and we use him for programming. Because can't really release him, can I?
Not here.
Not here, no. So
No,
he's
but we
still-
could fly to Africa and let him go.
Yes, we could. Although I worry he's gotten a little spoiled with the good life.
Probably.
He's fed every day, got lots of hay and veggies and all that kind of good stuff. And you know, I'd like to think he'd miss me.
Yeah, of course he would.
But yeah, he's really cool. But he's one of those animals that sometimes when you see him in the pet store, you want to think about it.
Yeah. And how long do they live?
80 years plus.
Yeah, that's a lot of time.
It is. I'm gonna have to find somebody in a couple of years to take care of him because, you know, he's gonna outlive me.
Yeah.
I'm Italian. I've got like 10 more years and I'm done. So don't worry. I promise to leave you a cookie.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
You're so thoughtful.
Thanks.
This is Dexter. He is a chinchilla, and chinchillas have the softest fur of any animal on the whole planet. Chinchillas, there used to be a lot more chinchillas, but people were killing them for their fur because it is so soft. Yeah, it's pretty sad, isn't it?
It is. They're adorable.
He is adorable, and I love him so much, and he's just so soft.
So is he a bunny or a squirrel or what is he?
He's not a bunny or a squirrel.
Oh,
He's a chinchilla.
okay. Well, so they're in the rodent family.
They are, but he's neither a bunny nor a squirrel.
Oh, well,
See, look at this tail.
Right?
That's not a bunny tail.
It's not a bunny tail.
No. So,
Well, that's cool. So now you know they're one of the longest lived rodents. They live like 20 years, right?
that's a long time.
It is a long time. So are they... Now, I know they're not really in the wild so much anymore because they're endangered in the wild, but they're in captivity because of the old fur industry. I see them in pet stores a lot. I mean, are they a really good pet for people to get, or...?
Well, it depends on what you want in a pet.
Okay.
So if you're willing to make a 20-year commitment, they also can't get wet. So you're not going to be able to bathe these guys.
Like a mogwai.
Sort of. They don't multiply, but it can kill them. So you want to give them ash baths with volcanic ash.
Okay.
And that's a little messy.
It is a little messy. Okay, I understood.
Right?
There's always a little dust cloud around them.
Yeah.
Like Pigpen from the Peanuts.
Exactly. But I think anytime you are going to make a commitment to an animal, you need to do a lot of research to find out if it is a good pet for you. You know, what kind of space it needs, how much room it's going to take up, how long it's going to live,
Right.
And what kind of mess it's going to make, and
Sure.
what kind of time commitment you have to have in order to keep it clean and in good health.
Right. Because he needs a pretty big cage. He's very active, right?
He is very active.
So that's one thing we definitely want to bring up, that none of these animals live on the bus. These are all their travel cages. They come out, they visit schools, and they do programs, and then they have much larger enclosures at their home base. So
Yeah.
nobody actually lives. So that cage that we used to come out of, that's not where he lived. That's his go visit people cage.
That's
but his
right.
cage that he normally is in is probably about as tall as you and much bigger. So they do need a lot of room and a lot of work. So they're definitely not a pet for everybody. And since they live so long, a lot of these guys get passed off after their initial owners get tired and bored of the workload.
Sure.
See, that's when, aside from the room, you gotta remember all the animals on the bus are either adoptions or rescues from people who didn't want them anymore, couldn't take care of them anymore, that kind of thing. So always want to make sure that when you're thinking about an exotic pet, you definitely know what you're getting yourself into. Crystal, I know this is not one of your favoriteest animals.
Cookie is one of my favorite animals. He just really likes my fingers. He's very interested in maybe tasting them.
Understood. And since he doesn't really have lips, it would hurt if he tasted them, wouldn't it?
It would hurt a lot.
Yeah. So when we're talking about the exotic pets that can live a long time and are a lot of work, kind of the parrots top the cake. So Cookie is an Amazon. My turn to talk, mine. So Cookie's an Amazon parrot. They can live 80 to 100 years. He's only about 32, 33 years old right now, so he's got a lot longer to go. And the fun thing with the parrots is that they are very, very intelligent. These guys are about as smart and as emotionally put together as a 4-year-old child. Unfortunately, they're not always the best behaved 4-year-old. They're kind of usually like the bratty 4-year-old. Because Cookie will be sweet, 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 but he'll still nip at you and laugh at you. So they're really smart. They get to know their owners. They can repeat lots of different words and phrases, but they are a lot of work because they're so smart. They need a lot of attention. You can't just put it in the cage, feed it, and ignore it. You have to interact with him all the time, every day, that kind of stuff. And he likes attention, right? But the fun thing is, they like all kinds of, fruits, vegetables, that kind of stuff. But one of his favorite things in the world are peanuts. And if you watch, yeah, he knows what's coming. He'll actually use his feet as a hand to hold the peanut as he's munching through it. Yes? So he'll hang on to it, crack through that peanut and get all the good stuff out. Now their bite is pretty powerful. He could definitely hurt you because they're basically made to crack through like hard fruits and hard nuts and that kind of stuff. But they are very, very neat birds. They're very cool. There's a lot of work. But he's a lot of fun to do programs with. All right, everybody, now it's time for what we in the film industry call B-roll. B for boa constrictors. Both Crystal and I have a friend. Crystal, want to talk about yours?
Sure, this is Mary, and she might look a little different from Michael's boa, and that is because she is an albino boa constrictor, and that means she just doesn't have any pigmentation, and that causes this yellowish and sometimes whitish color with red eyes.
Very cool. So I have Austin. Austin is a male boa. They're both Colombian boas, by the way. Austin's a little older and a little larger than Mary, of course. He's about 20, 21 years old, so he's definitely a senior citizen in boa terms. He's very friendly, he's very docile, he's really cool. Now, are these guys venomous?
No.
No. They're constrictors. They wrap around, they would squeeze their food. Are we their food?
No.
No, we're high in cholesterol. Also, way too big. They like small, mammals, birds, that kind of stuff, and they would wrap around and squeeze. Once the animal stops breathing, because it's suffocated, and it's dead, they will swallow it whole. Snakes are really, really cool because once they swallow it, it takes a little while to digest. So these guys will only eat once a week. You know what else they only do once a week?
Yes.
Go to the mall?
Yes. No, they only poop once a week.
So they eat once a week, they poop once a week, and they don't make any noise, right?
That's right. Sounds like a perfect pet to me.
I think so too, minus the fact that they get between 8 and 12 feet long. But still better than a cat. But these guys are great. They're a lot of fun, but like any of the animals, just remember this is something that can get very, very large. Most people don't want an animal this big in their house.
Right. So if Mary's not going to eat me, why is she wrapping around me?
Because you're a big warm treat to her. These
That's
guys
right.
are reptiles. They basically kind of get their heat from the outside environment. So it's a little cool outside, it's a little warm in the bus, but you're still warmer than the bus. So she's wrapping around, she's climbing. These guys would normally be arboreal. So in the rainforest in South America, they'd be climbing through the trees, enjoying themselves, looking for snacks. So you're a big warm treat to her. So thanks for that.
I was looking for that word, arboreal.
Arboreal, yes.
Arboreal.
It's all good. So yeah, she's climbing you. Now, if you look at Mary really closely, she's missing something, isn't she?
Yeah. Actually, on this side, so she's missing one of her eyes. Like Michael said, these animals are all rescues or adoptions, and Mary can't live out in the wild because her vision is obstructed and she cannot see all the way around anymore.
She's also an albino, and that bright coloration
yeah.
would show every predator where she was.
That
But these
is
guys,
true.
yep. But these guys are happy and healthy with us. They eat very well. They're really docile. They're really friendly, and they get to meet lots and lots of people to do education programs. So we are thrilled that we get to work with these guys. They're super friendly and some of our favorite animals. So everybody, thanks very much for coming out and visiting with us on another adventure of EcoVenture GSO. We're glad we got to show you the bus and take you around inside and kind of tell you a little bit about where we've been, what we're doing now, and where we're going. If you'd like us to come out and do some programs for you, just check out our website and give us a call or an email. Thanks very much. I'm Mikey Romano.
I'm Crystal Jones.
We'll see you at the next episode.